All right, so we have a pretty big announcement for you guys, and that is I am in a new shop. If you've seen my projects in the past, you know I've been in a really small shed, and then I moved into a 2-car garage where I tried to take half, but then I slowly took over the whole thing. But now I've actually moved into a pretty substantial shop space. So I'm gonna take you inside for a quick tour so you can see everything that we've got in there. Okay, so this is the main area of the shop. This is about 3,000 square feet, and I've only been in here for like a month, so there's really not a ton of tools. Actually, one of the most beneficial things right now is the fact that this is a 2-bay garage. So we have one right there as well as one right behind me. And so I've actually been able to pull in some vehicles like this old truck right over there and just keep it inside the shop versus having it at my house. Quick caveat too, normally when I record my videos like the ones recently, hopefully look a lot better because I'm using my lights, which are over there. I just have these like big like gym lights that are on right now. All right, so let's actually walk over to shop itself. So there's definitely not going to be like any shop organization tips in this video just because I haven't organized anything. Right here I've got my little drill press as well as my disc sander. So like right here will be like the metalworking, welding, all that kind of stuff in the future. Eventually I'm going to get one of those big welding tables that are probably going to sit pretty much in this spot. It'll be nice because I'll be able to open the garage door right there to help exhaust some of the fumes and stuff as we're going. Now as we come around this direction, we're getting more into the woodworking section of the actual shop. So if you guys didn't know, I actually do a good bit of work for Inventables, the maker of the X-Carve as well as the X-Carve Pro, which is this machine right here. And honestly, that is one of the big reasons that I moved into a bigger space so that I'd have more room for bigger machines like this as well as some that are coming in the future. So you actually are gonna get a sneak peek on some of the upcoming reviews like this guy right here, which is a small CNC, but what's cool about it is it actually has automatic tool changes, even though it's using these like 1/8" shank bits, so they're really, really small, but it has some pretty cool integrations. This is a super wobbly table, and we're gonna continue walking. Again, nothing in here is like super set up. I do have my old table saw. This is actually like the first big purchase I ever made. We just have these like random lights set up, which I should probably just turn off because it's making it hard. But that is the tool that I made in a previous video that was also in my garage, and that's just over some random power tools and stuff that is down there. But then what you'll actually start to see a good bit of are laser. So the other big part of the shop, and one of the big reasons of moving into the space other than the big CNCs for Inventables, is the lasers and these big CO2 machines that I have been getting and needing to do reviews of. I just haven't had the space for. I did do a review of the Tech Polar. This is a pretty nice like 50-watt desktop CO2 machine. This is kind of like a Glowforge competitor. I actually like it better than a Glowforge, but there's a lot of machines that are coming that are pretty similar to this. We got some other random stuff. There's a door. Speaking of doors, I don't know who was here before, but like this is like heavy duty. All right, so this right here is actually the latest edition. So this is the 17-inch from Grizzly. Just got it in like a couple weeks ago. So I haven't done a ton other than just cutting some test pieces, but I should be able to start cranking out some builds and some furniture in the future. And then as we're moving from the bandsaw, we start to get into some more of the lasers. This is the 60-watt laser from Tech. This is actually the one I probably use the most. I do need to do a full review on it. Then moving on down, this is where it starts to get pretty messy because I just started throwing stuff. We've got this fiber laser on this like super janky table. This one's actually pretty nice. This is from Cloud Ray. It's a MOPA laser. I have done a full review on this. It's got its own screen. And if you're batching out small metal parts, these are great. You also get like this little cool foot switch. These are pretty nice. And then actually the nicest laser I have in my shop is this one from Thunder. I believe it's the Nova. Forget the actual size of it. I'll put it on the screen. I haven't done a review, but I do need to do a review of it because the overall build of these Thunder machines are super nice. It actually has this crazy rotary that is inside of it right now. This thing is a beast. I just don't use it quite as much as the 60-watt just because the overall work area is a lot smaller for something like that versus that. And then we have some like random cranes and stuff. But then when we go over here, we get to some of these movable tables. Usually one of these is gonna have whatever machine I'm reviewing currently. Both of these tables can roll, which is super handy. This is one of the more recent reviews that I did. This is the Gweek Cloud, the RF laser. It has a metal tube in the back. This one is very nice. I enjoy using it. And then I've been playing around with having more of like a desk setup to where I can talk to the camera, although you're right there. But if the camera is over there, well, let me just show you. Zooming out. And see, I've got this desk set up where I can do reviews of things actually in front of me, and then I can turn my lights on behind me. These things are actually super nice because they are color, so I can adjust the color So you can see that going around right there. Now, I actually don't talk a lot about the video production side of things in the shop, but let me give you kind of a quick tour of what it normally looks like. So this is normally what I'm looking at. That is the Sony a7 IV with this adapter on the top, which is super nice. It basically lets me plug in an XLR mic. I'm also got a wireless mic that I have underneath my shirt set up, and then I can monitor myself. What's up? And then I've got a big light right there. This one is the AMRAN, which is like a cheaper aperture 200D. And then I've got this guy, which is a panel light, the AMRAN, the P60. This one is actually color, so I could change the colors. And then it switches to blue or whatever I want it to be. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, I also do some live streaming stuff you might have seen in the past, but I use a lot of these ATEM minis from Blackmagic. You can plug in a bunch of different HDMIs, export it out to your computer, and then go to YouTube. They are really, really nice. Now, since this was the first time of me having a space that was separate than my home, security was definitely a concern. I actually moved into this right before Christmas, and then I was out for a few weeks. But thanks to this video sponsor, I was able to watch over this shop. So this video is sponsored by Eufy. They make great security cameras as well as security systems. They're actually a sub-brand of Anchor, which is also making that new 3D printer that you saw a second ago. But the kit they sent me to check out has 2 cameras as well as a base station, and you're able to record your video locally and have it stored here, which is nice. But they also have a really nice app where you can pretty much monitor wherever you have internet access. And I've got one of the cameras sitting like right up there. And actually, let's go up to that camera so you can see more about it. Now, I've actually had some other security camera systems in the past, but honestly, these have been the nicest cameras I've used. And the main reason for that is they actually have a solar panel that is integrated directly into it. So even though I have mine set up inside, you can definitely put these outside and then you never actually have to charge them, which is super handy. And then the app is actually super nice too. You can see, this is where we are right there. This is gonna be fun. Here's a video. Here's like a video of me. They're 4K, which is nice, so you can actually zoom in and see some of the details. I'll show you what some of the footage actually looks like at night. And because AI is like all the rage right now, they do have some pretty helpful AI features, and they're calling it their bionic mind. But it's got human detection, vehicle detection, and pet detection. You can actually see on the human detection, I've got my face already identified. So depending on whatever your notifications are, if somebody comes in, it can tell you like who just walked into your spot, or like what dog you have in your shop if you have a pet. The only thing I don't like about the shop, that is, those are not lights. I actually have the lights turned off. Those are skylights. So if you watch my videos, you're gonna see the background, the lightness of it kind of change. Now, one cool thing this thing does have, these stairs are actually pretty rickety, but what's nice about it is you have storage space that is over the entire office space, which we'll look at here in a minute. So you can see I've got machines and boxes that I just am not currently using. There's another fiber machine, and then we have the X-Tool D1. That is the most recent review. There's actually just tons of space up here, which is super handy for any type of storage. So I believe this entire space was just one big empty warehouse. You can see there's actually another garage door, and then those are the other 2 that you just looked at. But they wanted to put in some offices, which we're gonna go check out right now. All right, as we come back down the stairs, we can go through this door right here. And this kind of brings you into the main entryway. There are 2 exterior doors. No idea what this was used. I think this was like a conference room at some point. So from the outside, you're able to just come in, and this is kind of like the main entryway. In the story behind this place, this was actually 2 different businesses. Some folks had the warehouse, and then a whole other business had these offices, and they had to get out of their lease pretty quick. One of the businesses went out of business. So this was relatively cheap, especially for the amount of space. As you'll see, this is actually way more space than I actually need. But anyway, so we have this area. Nothing is in it other than some Lego kit. Kind of dark in here. Then if we come through this hallway, we've got one room that is being used, but this eventually is going to be filled up with 3D printers. I've got the Bamboo Lab X1 Carbon, which is incredible. My favorite printer by far I've ever used. I also have the new Anchor Mate that is down there as well. There's some other ones kind of littered around that I need to get set up, but also have the big Snapmaker kind of 3-in-1, which kind of works, kind of doesn't, as well as some resin printers are here somewhere. And then over on this side, eventually it's going to kind of be the like electronic station. And then in here is actually my main office. And I do have a light to help with calls. There's also a light back over there. And I normally actually have another camera set up right there and I can look directly into it, but this has been nice, just a nice big table that my dad actually refinished that I can put lots of monitors on. This is where I have R2-D2. All right, moving right along with our tour. We come down this hallway. This is a conference room. Actually, all it has in it is a pack and play for when my daughter is sick. And you can tell these rooms are pretty echoey, and so whoever was here before, they put up these like sound panels, which do an okay job, but really doesn't do a great job. It's super echoey pretty much anywhere. Sound treatment is definitely something I need to do in the big office, but this one's nice because it's a relatively small room and there's no windows. So I might actually set this up as its own set to where I can just come in here and record and not have to worry about any of the other stuff. Did that door? Wow, I thought somebody was here. That scared me. So this might actually turn into its own like video recording room just because I can completely control. Golly, I keep feeling like there's somebody behind me. There's nobody here. Those are all of the offices. We've got another bathroom. And then the very last room is this little like storage kind of closet that goes between kind of the office space. And then this is the other door that goes out into the workshop. So that's the new space. Really excited about all the new builds that are gonna be coming, as well as reviews of tools. And the one thing I would like you to do is in the comments, actually let me know what tool you think I should buy next. Until next time, go make or break something in your shop. See you guys.